What's going on YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at the all-new 2022 Porsche GT3. We're going to look at a laundry list of specs, and then we're going to hop over to the drag race simulator and run some quarter miles. On the screen here you can see the side-by-side spec comparison. On the left we have the standard GT3, on the right we have the GT3 Touring. So the difference between these cars is not much. The rear wing is removed in the Touring, and the Touring gets a 6-speed manual versus a 7-speed PDK in the standard model. Both have the same engine, so it's a 4-liter flat 6 engine that produces 502 horsepower. It revs to 9,000 RPMs and produces peak power at 8,400 RPMs, so that's why the torque figure is lower than what you'd expect. The car's rear-wheel drive. Unlike Porsche's other top-end models like the Turbo and Turbo S, this is a track-focused, lightweight car that's meant to go around turns. Curb weight's really light, coming in at right around 3,100 pounds, and it's about 40 pounds lighter in the manual version. Both cars are really aerodynamic, coming in with a drag coefficient of 0.34. I would expect the Touring to be a little more aerodynamic without that rear wing, but Porsche has released these official numbers. Now let's hop over to the drag race simulator and see how fast these cars are in a quarter mile. I've gone ahead and set up the drag race in the simulator, so we have the normal GT3 on top, the Touring on bottom, and we can see that the normal GT3 gets a 0 to 60 in 2.8 with some incredibly fast shifts. The manual version, the Touring, is getting a 3.30 to 60, and these are times with 1 foot rollout subtracted. In the quarter, we see about a 10.7, 10.8 in the GT3 automatic, and 11.3, 11.4 in the manual version. Here's a quick rolling race from 50 miles an hour. Even though the manual has less weight, we can still see that it's losing ground whenever it shifts. And yeah, basically every shift we can see it just inch back a little bit more. This is pretty much what you would see in real life. Despite having less weight, it can't overcome that shift time that it's losing. And yeah, we can see the 60 to 130 times there, 100 to 150 times. Let's look at some competitors for this car and see how it compares. So up first, we have a quarter mile against the new 992 Turbo S. So this is the all-wheel drive turbo, which makes a ton of horsepower. And you can see that in action. So we get a 2.28 0 to 60 with 1 foot rollout subtracted. And through the quarter mile, it's going to keep pulling. We get a 10.1 in the Turbo S versus 10.7 in the GT3. So let's move away from Porsche for a sec. I've set up a drag race with an Audi R8 V10 Plus. So this is the 2018 model. And we can see off the bat, it gets a little bit harder of a launch with that all-wheel drive system. No surprise there. And then through the quarter, it actually remains pretty close, but the Audi is inching just a little bit on the Porsche. And we can see a 10.6 out of the Audi versus a 10.7, 10.8 in the GT3. That's been the same. I hope you enjoyed these races. If you want to race the new GT3 against any other car, you can at motormatchup.com. It's completely free to use. Of course, this car is not built for drag racing. It's built to go around a track. So doing a drag race is only going to show you a small portion of the performance of this car, and it's not going to give you the full picture. Regardless, it's cool to look at the straight line performance of this car. It's still really impressive. If you did like the video, make sure you like it and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.